Hello, everyone. As you
Hi.
know, my heart truly bleeds for Manipur. I have a lot of friends from
Good
Manipur.
afternoon.
I have friends who are from both the communities, from the Maite community and from the Kuki tribe. In fact, I have a lot of Naga friends, in fact, very, very dear and very, very close to me. And I have been very, very perturbed about what's happening in Manipur. So we decided that let's come ahead and speak with some people who had to leave Manipur, who were, if you say technically in the other terms, displaced. And in fact, it's very, very sad when somebody has to leave their house because of the fear of being attacked, fear of their families being under threat. It's very sad for anyone, for any human being, any nationality, anywhere in the country. So I thought let's speak to them and let us try to bring in whatever little bit we can contribute towards the peace together. So we have with us Dr. Mung, who has done his PhD from JNU, and we have, of course, Naomi Kipkin. We have S. Volte. We have Mo Gaite, who is riding a bike at the moment. Once he finishes riding the bike, Dr. Mong, I would request you can just switch on your camera, please. And after that, after he finishes riding his bike, we'll have him in conversation. But first, let me start with Dr. Mong. Dr. Mong, could you share a bit about your experience, please, sir? You'll have to unmute yourself and then speak.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, the riot started on May 3. I'm going, bro. Am I
We
audible?
have Dr. Mung
Hello?
and Lun also who've joined us. Yes, Dr. Mung, let's hear from you first.
Hello, sir. It's me, Moon.
Yes,
Hello.
hi, hi, Mung. How are you? Hi,
Uh,
Lun. How are you?
Hi, sir. How are you?
Very well, very well. Could you share your experience with us, please?
Uh, I was there from that tree at Lamka. So during that point of time, there was this what is that violence after the peace progress. So I was part of those. Uh, public or students' body that went and protest, and then after that, we started trying to help those people who are actually under these pogroms or people who are facing those violences. So, as a student body or as a faculty members of Raven College, so we did everything that we can to connect with people, students, and student body leaders. And that's it, sir. I didn't have much things to say about the violence. Thank you.
Right, right, Lun. Thank you. We have Mercy also who's joined us. Hello, Mercy. How are you? You have to you'll have to unmute yourself and then speak. Okay, Dr. Mung, anything you would like to share with us, Dr. Mung? Okay, we
Hello,
have a
sir.
very, very
Can you please repeat?
hello. Yes, yes. Please tell me. Okay, we have a very
Hello?
pleasant face over there. Naomi Kipkin. Naomi, just share us about your experience, please, Naomi.
Mute, okay. Yeah. So,
You have to unmute yourself. You're on mute.
Sorry, my bad. I forgot. So let me introduce myself first. I'm Naomi Kipgan, doing my majors in zoology in DM College of Science, Imphal. So my home is in Manipur, right? But then, as exam was approaching, my mother think it will be more appropriate for me to stay in hostel, which is in Dewlatland, near my college. So when all these things started, I was in my hostel, and then we started hearing news about like burning houses and then violence. This and that started from Lamka side, I think so. Um, and yeah, we were very calm, not thinking that yeah, it will like
Lanka near
resolve like.
Churachandpur. Lanka near
Pardon?
Churachandpur. Lanka near
Pardon?
Churachandpur. Lanka near Churachandpur.
No, Lamka side.
All right,
That's what I
all
was
right.
saying. Yeah, like the issue started there, if I'm not mistaken. Then we get to
That's
know
near
all about
Churachandpur,
this.
yeah. But that's near
Pardon?
Churachandpur. But that's near
Pardon?
Churachandpur, right?
Oh
That is
yeah,
near
yeah.
Churachandpur. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then So we get to hear this issue like started between the Kuki community and the Meitei community there after this at some rally, which was yeah, it was at some rally. And then after that we started to see videos and then pictures that was shared through WhatsApp groups. And then yeah, we panicked, but then we never thought that that thing that happened there will cause a lot of chaos later. And then yeah, we were still in our hostel, but on the next day, that is that fourth, things got worse. And then like my hostel warden, along with her family, we had to go to this camp, second MR. Yeah, second MR, because it was nearest to my hostel. We had to go there, and like we had to seek shelter there. So that is how we escaped from a hostel. Yeah, we were very scared, like to just even walk past the roads. That was the thing till second MR. And then like yeah, after I have spent 2-3 days in second MR, I was later reunited with my family, who are staying in Manipur.Displaced IGR camp. I was me and my sister. We were escorted by one Kaka Gozen, my father's colleagues from office. Yeah, he was very generous to like do that for us, like risk himself for us. I am really thankful to him also. And later on, after reaching IGR Manipur.Displaced, I was reunited with my family. But then life in those relief camps were not easy, because it was only me and my sister who staying in hostel, and I was not with my parents at that time also. So my mother, she like keep calling, and then she was like very scared, like what if some unwanted things happen in that relief camp, because I don't have my brothers, like I don't have my uncles around me. It's only me and my sister who escaped from Dulalan to this second MR. So yeah, my mother was very scared. And my relatives all over the places from my mother's side, my father's side, they started calling me saying like, are you safe, this and that. I was not feeling safe. But then um I had to like give them assurance saying ki, I'll be fine, well, like everything will be fine. But then in reality, I was really really afraid also. And that's it. And after that, we were in Manjupukri ICR camp. um we were there for like one night, and the next day we were like lucky enough to have the armies escorted us to Kangpopi district. And we stayed there for like a weeks. And then after that, later on, we left Kangpopi also, and like I'm in the current location I'm in right now. And after some times, we got to know that my house in village, which is Bongbal Khulen, which is under Kangpopi district, but not anywhere near Kangpopi. Yeah, my village was set ablaze. And after
Just a
that,
minute,
and
Naomi,
after,
Naomi, Naomi, Naomi. Just a minute. You said the location that you are in right now. I know where you are, but it's advisable. Don't share the location wherever you are. You are safe. That's what's important, right? So yeah. So let's
yes,
not talk about where. I know where you are, but let's not talk
yes.
about where you are. We will not. I don't want people to know where you are. But I'm really genuinely concerned for your safety and security. So that goes for all you friends. Yeah. Please continue.
Oh yeah. And continuing, so we got to hear that my village was also set ablaze. And then after, and right after 2-3 days, we also get to hear that my house in Mantripukri, which is near the IGAR camp, it was looted again. So all these things, like it's really really unwanted things that is happening. And then right now we are settled here, but I don't know how long we will be able to settle here, right? Because I don't know how to put this in words, but yeah, the feeling that each and every of the people in the relief camp, maybe, and maybe in relief camp or outside, every people from both sides. I mean, from both sides, they might have felt horrified with all of these incidents. And like I never want this to happen. And as for me, I'll always strive for peace. And like I would like to request both sides of the communities to abstain from committing any kinds of violence. And I want to, if possible, if it was in my hand, I would like to put this I would like to put an end on this war right now with a proper solution. So without a proper solution, uh, putting end on this war will be of no use again. But then, with only a proper solution, I would like to end this war or like communal conflicts that is going on right now. And that much I have to say. Thank you so much for having me.
Naomi, thank you so much for sharing experience and for your. I understand your pain and I understand how difficult it must be for all of you. In fact, for both the sides, for people of Manipur. When I say the people of Manipur, I do not mean the Kuki tribe or the Maite community or the Nagas or Tangkuls or the Baite Paites or the Pangals. Only I mean everyone united in Manipur. In fact, let's hear Mercy. Mercy, hello. How are you doing, Mercy? Good to see you.
Hello, I'm doing good, sir. Thank you for having me in the show.
Thank you for taking your time, Mercy. Mercy, could you share
Yes,
your
I'm so
experience
sorry
with
I
us?
was late. I had some technical
No, no, not
issue
at all.
with you.
Not at all. Not at all. You're not late. It was actually
Mhm.
my internet problem that was probably was not taking you in. I saw you. You were
Uh,
there. It
yes,
was not
yes.
your fault at all.
Thank you for having
Okay,
me. Yes,
Mercy, without disclosing any of your location, wherever you are right now at this point of time, you are safe. That's most
yes,
important. But just tell us about your experience about how it was when you were there on ground zero in Manipur.
yes. I was in the university the night of the incident. Of course, the 3rd of May. The day started as it normally does. None of us in the campus were had any inkling about what was to happen a few hours from the day itself. So the day went on normally, and about 6 in the evening, myself and my friends, we went out. We tend to go out for our evening walk. So we also had this idea of going out of the university gate and then buying some supplies, essentials, and groceries. So when we came back from our evening shopping, we saw that some mobs have started to gather in front of the university gate. Of course, it was disturbing because we have already heard that there were some disturbances that have started in Lanka. So, of course, we were a little bit scared, but thinking that it's a central university, we were quite comforted that the campus would be safe. And reaching our hostels, of course, we were looking at each other with shifty eyes, but then our caretaker, she, of course, she comforted us and said that the university will not be disturbed and you would be safe here. And around 7:30, we started to hear that a large crowd have already assembled in front of the gate, and we were extremely scared for our safety. But then again, our caretaker of the hostel, she again comforted us and said that that at least the hostel will be safe. But obviously, it wasn't, and around 7:30 onwards, the university gate was breached, and the mob and miscreant just uh, they just ran around in the university hostels. Some went to the boys' hostel direction, and some went to the girls' hostel direction. So the girls weren't even safe. They were shouting slogans, which is loosely translated into English as "Look for the cookies, hunt for the cookies." And my hostel particularly was attacked around 9 at night. I'm very sure of this because we were coordinating with our friends through phones and our family. So we had call logs and messages. Now, what they do is um, they breach the gates, at least in my hostel. Uh, Eyewitnesses have also said that they have jumped over the fences. And for us, of course, we were already scared. We were trembling, and some of our friends were um, generous enough to hide us in their hostel rooms. We switched off the lights, we locked our doors, and then we hide in someone else's rooms, and some were even um, hiding, I don't know where, but we were literally hiding, and then we were literally running for our lives at that point of time.
Those
Now
friends
we had,
who protected you, those friends who protected you, who hid you, were they Maites?
unfortunately, no, sir. From our experiences that we re-encountered when we were together, when we were huddled together after the attack on our hostel, we were not, sir. Very, very unfortunately.
No.
Or
So
at least in my
where you
hostel,
hid
we were not.
yourself?
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes, sir.
where you hid
Oh,
yourself and your friends protected you. So those
yes,
friends were
I
from
hid.
which community? Were they
She was not.
Nagas?
She was not from the Meitei community, that is for sure. And of course, she's not from the Kuki community. But I would not disclose her community, sir.
Okay, okay,
I'm
okay.
sorry for that,
No,
but
no, no, that's
for
perfectly
her own
fine. Perfectly
safety.
fine. Perfectly fine.
Yes, yes, for her own
Perfectly fine.
safety. Yes.
She showed a very good
So
humanitarian gesture, I must say. Yes, please go ahead.
yes, yes. There were some international students, exchange students as well. So they also played their part in helping us out, because when they see that a crowd of men were actually coming in and attacking girls' hostel, of course, our survival instinct kicked in, and they were brave enough to help us out, and they were not isolating us in any sense. So we are eternally grateful to them if they see this. We're eternally grateful for your help that night. Now, after 9, of course, we had this, the structure of our hostel was such that after the gate, when you are about to enter the actual hostel rooms, we have another gate, a barricade. So we actually locked it with a key, sorry, lock and key. But then they were broken down by the miscreants, and then they started running hither thither inside the hostel uh, hallways. There was a viral video about it as well. And then they vandalized the doors, and they forcefully kicked down the doors, and the windows were broken, and they were literally looking for the cookie women. But fortunately, uh, none was pulled out from our hostel, because we somehow managed to camouflage ourselves and hide ourselves. Hello, Ali sir, am I audible? Because I cannot see you on the screen.
I think it's having an internet issue.
Yeah, probably.
But you're audible to me.
Okay, I am audible to you guys.
Yes, you are as for me.
I
But I don't
and
know about
I
others.
Yeah,
Audible.
am I audible? Yes, I think I'm audible to the rest of us except for Sarah Lee, it seems.
Yes, Marcy. I think
Yes,
we can
sir.
wait for. I think we can wait for Sir, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course we
I think
can.
there's some technical glitch.
Yeah, yeah.
I think anyone is free to speak.
Then I guess I should just continue. Will that be all right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Let's wait.
It's
Let's
back.
wait. Yeah,
So sorry,
Sarah's
the
back
Sir,
network
you're
now.
was
back.
playing up. I'm so sorry, I'm back. I'm so sorry, the network
Yes,
was playing up. Yes, yes, please tell me.
yes. So our hostel was attacked around 9 o'clock, and since the miscreant started entering, they shouted, and they had patents, just like firewoods, locally firewoods, and they were so violent, and they were so loud. We were literally, I don't even have words for it anymore. Recalling that night still give me the shivers. So we were women being attacked by a mob of men. You can understand what was going through our mind. You can understand our fear. You may perhaps be even able to fathom what we were fearing at the time, what could have happened to us. So the fear psychosis that was spread in our hostel, or those of us who went through that ordeal that night, after they have left, we were called together in one room, and we were huddled together, and the moment we met each other, the moment we met each other's eyes, all those cookie students, we knew what we went through, and we did not even have to speak to each other. There were some of us who got hurt while they were struggling with the miscreants. They were protecting themselves and closing the door. They were on the other side kicking the doors and such. So we were asking for help from the Assam Rifles. Of course, a unit was based in the campus, but since the manpower was too less, and the hostels were attacked. The hostels were attacked um, simultaneously. They did not have enough manpower to help all of us, so we were waiting, lying in wait for whatever help could come to us. We were literally begging people who could come and help us to help us, but then no help came. But perhaps the heavens were with us that night, and none of the students from my hostels were seriously injured, and we were rescued around past 3 in the morning, and we were taken to the Assam Rifles camp as an asylum. And most of the faculties and the students were already there. And around 4 to 5 around in the morning, we were hurtled into trucks and buses. Especially with the trucks, we had to actually uh, bring down the tarpaulin so that we were not visible. We were in the truck hurdled like cattle, transported like cattle, and we were transported to the first MR as displaced people. That was our relief camp. And the situation over there was such that the university, all the Kuki community from the university were kept there in the first MR relief camp. And it is really, really heartbreaking to see our our professors, those in the administrative blocks who were really, really big office holders, just lining up in the relief camps for the major diet that we were given. Old people who were literally carried around for their daily meal or for their medication. It was a really heartbreaking breaking scene, sir. The trauma that we went through, the emotional um, scar that we are having right now is really insurmountable, and I do not know how that experience is going to be compensated. How normal can we be again, even though we are not actually in the area where gunfires are being shot right now, but then having seen and heard and having experienced at least a fraction of what the community is going through, that fear psychosis is still there. And I must say that I am not what I used to be as a person.
I'm
The
very
fear
sorry to
psychosis
hear.
had done a whole lot of damages, sir. I don't know who's able to compensate for that. Who's going to compensate for the lost years of our studies that we invested in pursuing our studies?
Very sorry to say that, Mercy. I'm very sorry. When was the last you were there in Manipur, Mercy?
I was there last month, sir.
Last month. All right.
Yes.
Let's speak to Volte. Volte, hello. How are you? Looking very handsome, Volte. You're on mute,
Uh,
please.
Hello.
Hello, Volte. Yes,
Oh,
you're
good
looking
after.
very handsome, sir.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Thank you
Uh,
for taking your time, brother.
uh, like my 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 incidents take place around the same time as everybody. It was on the 3rd of May. So on the 3rd of May, I was at my at an office doing my internship. It was a very normal day actually. Like there was very little like comprehension of what was going to happen afterwards. Like we had very little understanding, and then what happened was my father called me up like maybe an hour before my office closes. So he asked me whether I could end my work a little bit earlier. So at that time I was not uh, aware of the situation basically. So I have heard about the peace march and the protest taking place in Churchanpur, but uh, to my knowledge, like I didn't give much thought to it because, frankly, it was a everything happened in a instant, like very suddenly. So that night, it was I was staying in Langol, where we used to live. I was staying in the same place as Mr. Loon. Mr. Loon and I, we live in the same locality. So that night, I think even he can recall, like it was dead silent. Like no one was talking. No one. No. All the tribal people. All the tribal, basically, even the non-cookie tribals were turning off their lights. No one made a single sound. It was very quiet because we were all frightened. We were all frightened to a point where none of us would even turn on our lights. So at around 11 and at around 10, I think, yeah, at around 10, the violence that had happened in National Game Village was the neighboring village from our locality. So that neighboring village, have heard news that there has been some attacks, some arsony, and all that things. And then slowly, slowly, the violence started to reach Lango. So as soon as it reached Lango, like even from our house, we were not that far from the main road, so we could hear like the commotion, people screaming, racist slurs and all these things. Like they were using slangs and all. We could hear the commotion from outside. We could hear it from inside our house. Like even that night, me and my brother were staying up whole night uh, in our living room. We were planning not to sleep, so that at least like if something happens, like me and my brother will be the first people to warn my parents. So that was the night of the 3rd of May, and the violence and that that feeling of dread continued till I think around way past midnight. Like uh, after midnight, slowly it started to settle down a bit. But then we keep hearing news about like some cases of arsony near in Longol itself. And then we heard news from our relatives that guards were sent, policemen were sent to control the mob, and all. And then with that, we were a little bit more relief. And then by 4 or 5, me and my brother, we were able to get a little bit of rest. But as morning came, like on the 4th of May, as morning came, the situation seems to have escalated, like according to the information we were given. So my parents decided to pack up all our things, and we were planning to shift to a much more secure location. So we went into the house of this we went into the house of the Tanlon MLA Vung Sigin Valte. His house, he was staying, his government quarter was in Lamphil, which was another neighboring village. So Mr. Valte was a MLA, and he has sent his guards. He has given his orders to his guards, like personal security, to protect his quarter. So with that news, a lot of us, like from Langol, especially because we know Mr. Valte very well, so we decided to go to his quarter to seek somewhat like
Was he a relative
some
of
resemblance.
yours?
Yes,
Was he a
sir.
relative of yours?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all
So
right.
we went as a like as a last resort, basically. Like at least there would be some type of protection, or a little bit safer than staying in Lango. So as soon as my family we reached there, there were hundreds and hundreds of us, like mm, probably like 300 people there. So what happened was there were like 300 people there in each community, like Gangte. There was Gangte, Vaite, Vaipe, Kuki, Vaipe, Kuki, and all these people were there. Like some people that we have known very well, like literally our neighbors were also there. And they were seeking like a shelter from that area because as Mr. Valti is an uh, elected official, we thought that there would be a little bit of safety regarding where we're staying. No? So uh, there were so many people like young children who were from young nurses who were studying in Imphal from Churchandpur. Who There's some people who came to Imphal for business purposes. They were all collected in one area. So during the early hours, which is like 11, I mean, probably yeah, probably 10, 11, our local church, which is the EBCC church in Lamphil, which was no more than 100 meters away from us, no more than 100 meter, maybe less, was literally burnt. Like di- direct, it was almost too close. We can even hear the cylinders burning and then exploding. Like we heard the explosions. We can even feel we can almost feel the heat of the fire. So all of us young children, we were all staying there, young children, old people, everyone of different backgrounds. We were all staying there, trying to make it, trying to support each other, like mentally and physically. And we and then when we thought that, and then a few hours later, like in the afternoon, we got a little bit of peace. Like it became more quiet. S- it became more quiet during that time. But unfortunately, like, it was during those hours where we got news that the MLA Vungskin Valte was attacked on his way back. The MLA Vungskin Valte was attacked on his way back after a meeting with the CM. So with that news, there was uh, there was a mass panic amongst the people. There was a mass
And
panic
obviously,
amongst
I
the
mean,
people
if
because
MLA was being attacked, if politicians are not being spared, so a normal person would be in a bigger threat. I can well imagine that.
yes, yes. See, see, at that stage, uh, we were all gathered there. We were all gathered there under the assumption that if we stay with a with an elected official, a politician, someone who is close to the government, we would be safe. But when we got news of the attack, then we came to realization that this is bigger than some common violence, some common clash between two communities. It turns out that it became very clear that it's very how do you say, pre-planned, and everything is very how do you say, everything is escalating to a point where very little we could do as normal people. So during those hours, uh, a lot of the people staying in the quarters, they moved to the CRPF camp in Lamphel itself. Like literally, they went behind the quarter. They went from the quarter. They jumped over the walls. They went to another MLS quarter, and then from there, they all of them, like, they have to evade the public eye. They went in a very uh, somewhat silent way. Like everybody had to move quickly, and almost everybody was gone after that. And uh, anyway, our family and most of and a few of the friends of the family, of Mr. Valte, we stayed because as moral support, and then as moral support to their family. And then it was from there, we keep hearing news. We spent around two two days 2 days and 3 nights in the quarter. It was honestly, it was very dreadful. Like none of us had any plans for anything. Like we we don't know whether or not we are safe. We are still safe in the quarter. We don't know whether or not we don't know whether or not we would be attacked any moment. Because and then we keep hearing rumors, even amongst ourselves, like the ones in the quarter. We even hear rumors amongst ourselves that the Métis are planning to attack this exact quarter. The Métis are planning to come and invade these things. By my taste, I mean like no, I'm not talking about most of the. I'm not talking about like the general people. The people who were attacking were mostly these violent young people who are violent, who are a part of this. Some of them were allegedly they're a part of this what you call organization called Arambay Tango. And then because we know this because they have certain uniforms that they wear, and then in our videos and in our in with our eyewitness we can see that they're clearly wearing those uniforms. So we know that this is not an ordinary mob attack. So we spent 2 days and 3 nights there. By that time every one of us started to dissipate. Like some of us we booked tickets to Bangalore, we booked tickets to Guwahati, we booked tickets to different places, different places. And luckily my family was able to secure some tickets also. We flew out on the 7th. We flew out on the 7th, taking whatever we can. Like uh basically some of us even like
Don't mention where you are right now. Just don't mention
yes,
wherever you are right now. Yes, yes.
of course. uh, like I said, some of us we took what we had in our bags. Like we took what we had in our pockets, we took what we had in our bags, we took what we had in our cars, we took what we can. So basically it's like uh it's very hard it's very hard to describe. Like it's very hard to describe what we felt, because like even my friend Mr. Loon will be able to clarify. Like for us, we were all born in Imphal. We were born in Imphal. We were raised there. We grew up there. And saying goodbye to that place, like especially Langol, like we know nothing else in our life except our place in Imphal. Like we know Langol, we know Imphal like as if like we basically know it with the back like we know the back of our hand. Like for us, that was our home. Even if we even if those some people will accuse us of being from different places, will accuse us of being from Churchampur, or even accuse us of being illegal immigrants, we know for a fact that Langol was our home, Imphal was our home. And saying goodbye to that, the feeling was the feeling was like undescribable sorrow. Like that's the only thing we can say. Like my people like Mr. Loon, people like my friends, uh, they had they even did college in Langol. They spent their they even did college in Imphal. And the thing is, it's not about like it was literally where we wanted to grow up. It's where we wanted to grow old, and then having to leave that place, having to leave all that behind, it was the most difficult thing we had to do for us. Not to mention like not to mention like the people we lost along the way. Some people could not go. Some people were attacked on the way to camps. Some people were attacked on the way to the airport. Like we were very lucky, but even if we're lucky to have left, or we are lucky to have survived, but at the same time sometimes we have been, how do you say, sometimes we have to say like whether or not we can even go back to the Imphal anymore, because for us it's like the government could not guarantee our safety. The government could not guarantee our that when we go back, everything will be back to normal. Because how can we feel like everything will be back to normal if our elected officials, if if people who had nothing to do with anything, who had nothing to do with any of the accusations they throw up on us, no, any accusations they have on us, we had nothing to do with it. We were just uh, we were we were just people who went to school, people who went to church, people who went to people who went to church, people who grew up in Imphal. We had nothing to do with anything. We were just living our lives in Imphal, and suddenly in one day, in 2 days, everything is gone. Our churches are gone. Our our sense of identity is gone. What 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 more is there to say? Like literally, like people
I
have
can imagine
been,
your pain. I know. I
yeah.
can well imagine your pain, brother. I can well imagine your
And the
pain,
thing
and
is,
I know it.
yeah, the thing that hurts me is like people people say, when we say our stories, when we say our suffering, they make us seem like we have a different agenda. We do not have those type of things. We were, in every sense of the word, innocent. We had nothing to do with anything. We were literally minding our own business. We were living our lives, and then suddenly we had to go, leave our homes. We didn't even
The comment,
we most of, yeah, we didn't
the
even
comment
we
from
didn't even
Jagora there, which says pre-planned question mark. What were you expecting when you vigorously flaunt your arrogance and organize a march against the Maitis who demanded the scheduled tribe status from the government, not from you? That's a comment over there. Well, I'll be very, very honest. I have friends, very, very dear friends. My best friends are from Manipur, irrespective of the community, tribe, whether they're cookies or they are Maites or they're Paite. I've served with the Assam Rifles. And in the Assam Rifles, we had soldiers who were cookies, we had soldiers who were Maites, we had soldiers who were Tangkuls, we had soldiers who were Nagas, we had soldiers who were Baites, who were Paites, who were Pangals, we had soldiers from a different community, and we all fought shoulder to shoulder. We all trained shoulder to shoulder. We all prepared ourselves shoulder to shoulder. We all, the bonding and the bone humor we had was again. And Jagora J has again sent another comment which writes, "My heart grieves when I hear the young kids here. Both sides have become possessed, demon hungry for one another's blood." And the very fact is,
sir,
Jagora,
sir,
the
doctor, I'll say I'm not hungry for any blood. Like literally, I honestly, I would be the most angry out of these things. Like a close relative of mine is hurt. A close relative of mine, a lot of our relatives and all, they're hurt. But we don't want blood. We're not hungry for blood. We're not. That's the thing. We are not under the impression that we want to eliminate the other people. We just want to go home. We just want to live a normal life again. We have no desire. We have no desire for any further violence. Like look at what has gotten us. Look at the state of Manipur now. Like, how is it ignorant? How is it ignorant? How is it arrogant to point out things that are very, very visible, things that are very evidential? Like, we had nothing to do with the things that happened in Churchapur. We had nothing to do with the things that are going on now. But instead, we are the casualties. We are not playing the victim card here. We're not playing anything. We're just stating what it
right.
is. We're saying what
I'm
it
sure,
is. We're not.
I'm sure, I'm sure whoever this person is, Jagora, who's commented, did not mean anything personally on you. He just mentioned
No, no,
that
no.
the very fact is, yeah, the very fact is, the the Kuki tribe says the Maite community had pre-planned it. The Maite community says the Kuki tribe had pre-planned it. So both there is a lot of trust deficit in Manipur going on at the moment,
Of
and I
course.
think the best way is, we have to be complete. We have to find people who are completely neutral, who genuinely love Manipur, who genuinely want peace. What my experience, I will tell you all, my experience of Northeast was not just Manipur, Northeast. The best friends I have are all from Northeast. They are most principled, morally right, ethical, who keep their word, people of their word, are all from the Northeast. In fact, trust me, and I'm saying this because in your language, you would call me, to be on the lighter side, a Mayank. Am I right? But trust me, guys, I'm not a Mayank. I'm one of you all. I Nanganumshi Manipur, right?
Mm.
And then Jagura, the same person, has again sent another comment. Shame on us. I mean, not on you. Basically, he means on human beings. Both the communities have led the beautiful state of Manipur, have Uh, it is not about yeah. It is Jagura. It is. Then there are many more comments coming in. Kadam Sim, if any of you can translate this comment, please.
I think he's just fooling around.
Okay, 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 okay. Oh,
So we had
oh, it's
the point I'm trying to get is that most of us we just most of us are caught in the crossfire of everything. Like n- we had we have no further desire for any more escalation. We want the central government to take the situation in Manipur a bit more seriously. Like,
Exactly.
well, we want them to be a bit more uh we're not saying like they should come and they should side with one group or the other group. We don't want that. We just want the Indian government, the Indian central government, New Delhi, to come and settle everything. Like, at least come and say at least come and do something. Like, what they're doing now is not good enough. What they're doing now is not enough. What they're doing now is basically they're standing in the sideline hoping that the fire we will all be burned. We will all be burned. After this, there's be nothing to recover from Manipur. Manipur would be in ashes. Like,
right.
there will be nothing left.
All right.
Mr. Welte, my heart really goes out to you and to everyone who is suffering in Manipur, irrespective of the caste, creed, community, religion. But as long as they are our own people, you people are our own countrymen, our own brothers and sisters, and really, really, genuinely, I can really feel the pain. In fact, and let's ask Mr. Lund, what do you have to say, Mr. Lund?
Hello, thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Hi. Okay. Oh, so, Moon, you wanna go first?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
it's
Lund.
okay, it's okay. We go on. It's okay.
Mr. Lund, you're on
Okay.
mute. Yes, yes, please
First
go
of
ahead.
all, yeah, uh, yeah, I wanna answer to my friend here, the comments he made. So, we are not against the Meitei. See, I was born and raised in Imphal, and we are never against Meitei. Even we love them more than our native place. But since things escalated and the way it happened, I can't say that anymore for now. But what we want to say is they organize a march, and the majority don't even know. They were not. Some of them were not even aware back in Langol. But those who don't even join or know about that, they are the ones suffering now. And then they say we are the one against Métis, but this is we did it against the government at the march, and then but instead of uh, supporting or yeah, just uh, they do a counter blockade, and then from 2nd of May night, no tribal can go to their native places. Example, Kampokpi, Lamka, etc. So uh, it's not a it's a peace march, but some people I won't name their community, but some people they organize a counter march, and then they do a counter blockade, and then uh, on the third on the 2nd May, I think, that day in Moirang, they organize a huge uh, torch march against the tribals, and they say we are against the Métis. No, it is not. And then what I want to say is, please, let's end this, and uh, we want peace to prevail, and then yeah, that's it.
Right, Lord. And Dr. Mung, let's hear from you, Dr. Mung. And you've been very, very kind and very, very helpful. You have come up with a very bright idea. Let's get people together and let us come here. And of course, so you seem that you, as if you are standing in a football field outside with a floodlit football field. Are you standing in a football field on the lighter side? You can smile, Dr. Mung. Dr. Mung, can you hear me?
Sir, there's another doctor with Moon.
Yes,
There
Dr.
are two
Mung, the
doctors
one,
here, sir. I think he can speak
the
here.
one who's done
I
his
think Moon can
PhD
speak for now.
from Delhi. Dr. Mung, you in the blue shirt.
Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, yes, Dr.
Okay,
Mung.
sorry. Actually, I thought
No,
you're talking to the one.
no, I think
Okay,
Moon,
okay.
you can speak.
Okay. I'll take it up. Thank you, sir, for having me. Now,
Thank you,
actually,
Dr. Mung, for spelling that.
I would like to share you my. First of all, I would like to share you my experience. Uh, it was on May 3rd. We heard that there was some clashes going on in Lamka, which is my hometown. And then actually I was in Imphal that time. Uh, and then on that 3rd of May, it was at the evening. So like me and some of my friends, we thought it might not be that serious or the police or something might calm it down. So we weren't that serious or that much scared of it. And then we didn't prepare that much. And then that very night itself, my parents called me up and like they were saying that the condition is doesn't seem to get any better. So they were like, always be ready if anything happens, like to be able to flat or this and that. And then on that 4th of May, me and my roommate, we woke up early, started preparing food so that if anything happened, we will be able to flat as soon as possible and have some energy too. So we prepare. Nothing happened. But then in the evening, we start hearing that MU, which is in Kanchipur, was attacked. And after that, even as we were already scared, we were feeling unrest. And then we called some of our friends, and then through WhatsApp, we got some CSOs, some army officials, uh, first MR, second MR, SPs of Imphal East, Imphal West. I got all their phone number and I started contacting them, asking for arrangement of escort so that we could leave without any trouble from our institute and then go to a safer relief camps maybe. But then, unluckily, I should say we could not arrange any of the escort, and then that's how that 4 passed, and then on that 5, uh, everything was out of control already. And then since morning we start preparing, getting ready to leave. And then still then we could not the place near our hostel started burning. So like even the escorts, they say we cannot come, all the roads are blocked, this and that. And then we talked to our hostel wardens, and then our hostel wardens told us that this is a medical college, and I don't think the mobs will attack. And in case if they attack, also let all the students and everyone in the hostels join together and help protect each other. That's what our warden told us. And then yeah, after that we also felt a little of assurance, but then we cannot be 100%. We cannot feel 100% safe yet. And then in the it, and then every day what we fear was the dark actually. When the sun sets, everything started. At daytime when it's bright daylight, there was not much commotion. And then that very night, we heard there were three boys hostel, and then we heard that the Arambai with some of the mobs started entering one of the hostels, checking each and every room one by one with ID cards. And then I was not in that particular hostel at that time, and my friends from another community, I'll just name them because it's their kind gesture. Some are Nagas and some are Métis. They come to my room. They say that they have entered some of the hostels, so I think you should just try and escape. So even I called up my friends from Kukizo tribe. I said this is
Just a minute.
happening.
So you mean to
Okay,
say
sir.
some Maitis also helped you out? Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, my very
That's a
own
very sweet. That's a very
friends.
sweet gesture.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I'm very thankful to them too. Yeah, and then they give us the information before they entered our hostel. They have already entered another hostel, but they haven't entered our hostel. So at that time, I called up all my friends, juniors, everyone from the Kukizo tribe, and then with all of them, I led them. We entered behind our hostel. There was a badminton court. We entered there, and then through that we climbed the fencing of our hostel, and then we hid inside our college gym. And then that hiding in college gym was a horrific experience. Even little sound, we thought that, oh, they are here. We have that kind of sense of fear. And then we call up our hostel wardens, and then he told us to take our scrubs, take our stethoscope, dress up, and go and hide in the hospital wards. That's what our warden told us. So we started calling up our friends. The two, our Métis friends and our Naga friends, we called them up. They enter our rooms. They took our scrubs and our stethoscope, and they give us through the walls. And then we start dressing up inside the gym. And then we went to the hospital. Some went to the hospital, and then some of them even hid in the academic block because we have no choice. We don't know where we are going also. So after hiding there, we start calling up our wardens again. And then our wardens, with the help of some Meitei teachers and Naga teachers, they somehow managed to arrange an escort for us. So with ambulance, we entered we used three ambulances with two escort. We were shifted to first MR, and then after reaching first MR, yeah, we have a little bit sense of relief, but I can't say that is also a relief since we tends to hear lots of problems. We even heard that first MR is about to be attacked and this and that and so on and so forth. And then the thing I really feel bad about is even after we left 3 continuous nights, they went to our hostel at 12 midnight with knives and then checking each and every room, calling them out and checking identity card. I don't know why they want to like, yeah, there might be something in that, but we already know what's their purpose if they go at that time check ID cards each and every room with weapons and all that. So that really hurts me, and I think it won't be ever possible to go back in that. Even I could not say for another institute since I don't know what they have encountered, but for my institute I think it's not at all possible to go back. Yeah, and that was my experience. And first inside the first MR, yeah, there was more than 3,000 plus people seeking for safety, and then yeah, and there was no enough food, not enough water. So me and some of my friends, we were like, oh, we'll get some bread, leave the rice, everything for the elderly people. So we stayed there for 3 nights and 2 days with just a loaf of bread and some water. We stayed for 3 days and 2 nights, and leaving the rest of the essentials for the elderly people. And then with God's help, I could book a ticket for that 8th May, and I escaped through escort to the airport, and from the airport to the current place I'm staying. That was my experience.
Thank you, Mung. Mung, are you, which is Dr. Mung? I'm a little confused. The one who was coordinating, is that Dr. Mung with the loan, or that's you? Are you also Dr. Mung?
Yes, sir, I'm also doing
Sir,
So
it
you
seems
are the
that
one.
one doctor, if I may interject, it seems one doctor
Yes,
is
yes, please.
medical doctor and the other Dr. Mung is academic doctor.
So which is the academic doctor who was coordinating with me? Just raise your hand. Okay, that's you. That's you. Okay, okay. All right, all right. All right, Dr. Mung. Thank you. That's very, very sweet.
Sir, I would like to add a few more things that Dr. Mung, the medical doctor, have said. It seems that the educational institution, whether it be the academics or the medicals, it seems the way the attacks have been made are a lot similar. The things that I haven't mentioned when I was speaking before was that the following day on the 4th, we started hearing news that the miscreants were targeting Zomi students from the hostels, and they actually knew which hostel was occupied by the Kuki Zomi community students, and they were able to go and pinpoint and vandalize their room, burn their original documents. Sir, I want to stress on this because
From the
as an academic
Vipers.
student,
They knew
pardon?
about they were targeting the Vipers, you said.
No, pardon, sir, I do not understand what you said.
They were targeting the cookie or a subset of the cookie.
All of the cookies,
Okay.
the cookie students. So the cookie zomi students, as I may if I may add. So now they are collecting their documents, original documents, because we know how important an academician and their documents are, isn't it? So it's kind of like our
Just a
lifeline.
minute. Sorry, Mercy. The cookie is only
Yes,
student. What about the Thadao speaking cookie students?
pardon, sir.
So we come on under the same category.
No, because I remember in 1997 I was on the soil of Manipur. Naomi, say
Mm-hmm.
hello to your mother.
Oh, she said
So,
hi.
hello, ma'am. Hello. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Come, join us, please. Please come and join us. Please come and join us.
She have
Naomi,
some
just
work
a
to
minute.
get done.
Okay, all right. So in 1997, no, I remember I was on the soil of Manipur that time. I was present there. And that time there was a clash between the Thadao speaking Kuki and the Kuki Zomi people. And
Yes,
from
yes, the
North
Paiti
Manipur,
speaking.
it got to Kashmir. But then, of course, the Mizo stepped in 1998 and they became friends again. A bull was
Yes,
sacrificed and there was a big feast that had happened. And, like, for example, the Naga and the cookies were used to be, they didn't get along earlier. And now they are good friends. And I'm very happy to see
yes,
that. I really,
yes,
genuinely wish for peace to prevail. Okay, Mercy, please go ahead, Mercy.
yes. So the miscreants, they actually knew which rooms were occupied by the Kukizomi students, and they collected, they vandalized the rooms, they burned down their original documents. Or I want, like I said, I want to stress on this, they burned down the original documents. Now, for a student, for an academician, burning down of your documents, and for a research scholar, even your research materials that have been stored there, because the attack was done in such a way that we did not have enough time to actually pack our bags and run, because we were literally running for our lives. So we had whatever we have on at that time, and then some of us were uh, fortunate enough, or rather wise enough, to have already packed our documents and laptops, but most of us were not that fortunate. So with the clothes on their backs, we met at the Assam Rifle camps, and this went on for a number of days. The looting started as well. The quarters of the professors and the faculty members were not spared, and it was just coherent vandalization that took place, and subvertation of the properties and burning down of the documents. So this is a really, really sad affair, and now we do not know how we are going to go about with our educational um, aspects. We do not know where to go. We do not know how our future will be unfold, because academicians this year is on hold. In fact, the whole educational system is in Manipur is on hold, sir. So where is the normalcy in it? Where is the argument of things getting better, because none of the educational institutions are working, be it vocational or otherwise?
I can well imagine, Mercy. Mercy, I was in a similar conversation with the former Vice Chancellor of Manipur University, Professor Amar, and he also threw some light. And of course, right now I know the schools have been closed until further orders, and till 8th July they said, and then. But I'm certain, just have hope. I'm certain something good is going to work out. Don't let anxiety or depression or sadness
Pardon, sir,
stop
you
there.
are not very audible, sir.
Can you hear me now?
I think one of
Sir,
the
there
background
is echo.
noise is too
There's
loud.
some
Okay,
echo.
I think we'll have to mute. Yes, yes. So somebody has was on, but I think they are muted now. So something
Sir,
good will
can
come
I
here.
supplement what?
Yes, please,
Sir,
Dr.
can I supplement what Miss Mercy said? So I was
Please.
thinking, what should be the way forward for the students? Now, Miss Mercy told us that many of the students' document has been burned, and besides that, many of the student has been displaced to many states like Shillong, Guwahati, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, and Mizoram. So, what should be the way forward for the students? Thank you.
So I think just hold strong. I'm sure the government is going to work out something. I mean, I'm sure they will work out something. And trust me,
But sir,
guys, when
it has been 60 days, sir. It has been 60 days.
I agree
So
that
the
that's
Where
government,
is
true.
the
I
policy? Where
don't
is the
think,
execution of the solution, sir? It has been 60 days. In this
sir,
21st
honest,
century, there is no problem that could not be solved. But then, with a proper leadership, but it has been 60 days. We cannot
Mercy,
keep
you have
on
a
saying
very
that a
very right.
solution will come, somebody will come up, but who and when? Because we have been waiting so earnestly for some kind of solution, be it the publics, or be it the students, or be it the vocational people, be it from every community. We are eagerly waiting for the solution. Where is the solution? So everybody's talking about a certain kind of solution. Everybody's talking about a solution coming to the forefront, but it has been 60 days.
You have a very valid point, and I totally agree with you. I am with you on this, Mercy. And I genuinely feel for Manipur from the bottom of my heart, and my heart bleeds for Manipur. And I agree, the
Thank you for
solution
the
hasn't
question.
come till now. It's been 60 days. 2 months is a very, very long time. And I am myself disappointed by the fact that solution hasn't come, and it is we people, we are trying to work out a solution. A common man is trying to work out a solution, not by picking up arms. I love your attitude, all of you. Hats off to you all. In fact, Monte, Naomi, Mercy, Mung, Mr. Lun, and Dr. Mung, I really salute your spirit. And I also, the gentleman the person who was commenting over there, I see, look at this, it's a very positive comment. Jakura writes, Major Saab, thank you for the human stories you put out every day. That's not important. But what's important is this: let there be reconciliation. As a Maite, I want to say that enough is enough. Let's stop this madness. So, which means same words coming from the Maite community and from the Kuki tribe. And let me tell you, I've got a lot of Maite friends as well. I asked them, let's be on conversation, you and I. But for some reason, they have some many of them had their apprehensions and they had the reservations and such things. So I would still urge, and a lot of people would accuse me. Why is that you're getting only cookie people on your show? Why can't you get someone from the Maitha community? Most welcome. Most welcome. Please come ahead and please give us a solution. And please, you can message me on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. I'm there with my ID. And most certainly, I am interested in speaking to people from Manipur, irrespective of the community, caste, tribe, creed. And I really want a solution to be worked out. And what about the documents for like admission, as Mercy you brought out rightly. So the very fact is, it is going. I'm that is the government's going to decide, and I'm sure they will work out something when they have worked out something for the Indian students who were stuck in Ukraine. Over 28,000 students were stuck over there. We conducted Operation Ganga, and we got them very successfully internationally. I'm sure Manipur is our own state. I'm sure, please, I urge the government as well to please look into the matter for the interest of our country, for the interest of our state. Where else will you find such beautiful people? Where will you find floating islands on a lake, Lake Loktak? I haven't been to a more beautiful place in my life than Manipur. I haven't come across more beautiful people, clean hearted, pure hearted, genuine people. Really, and thank you very much. I really appreciate you all giving your time.
Sir, can I supplement something? See, should not the student be compensated for the loss, or what about a career break? Now, for example, like I said, many of the students have been displaced. So it's not just about peace that the students are asking. What about justice? Now, for example, the hills people cannot go to the valleys. The valley people can go to the hills. And many of the students that belongs to the hills are mostly uh, backward students, so as to say, which means they are economically backward. All right. So what about those people? Can we not compensate? What about the students? When can we start classes? Now I've heard from people that their classes starting at Jenims, medical students, and then again there are classes that took place in many of the institute. So what about those hills district that do not have a single university, that do not have all the facilities that the valley people have? So where is justice? Where is peace here? So these are some of the questions that the government should be responsible, should be asking, or should be accountable for. Now, being as scholars, we, as scholars, I was thinking that the government, right, they often talk about less government and more governance. So all this idea of governance systems are completely, uh, you know, destroyed at this moment of time. Because if you look the historical injustice that had happened since 1972 when Manipur became a union territory. Now, the question is, when you look at the geographical aspects of the state, you have only 10% with all the resources, facilities, almost everything there. Like sports university, you have Kuman Lampak, name anything that you wish to, it's there. And what about the hills? They constitute about 90%. And the amount of money that has been disbursed, distributed between the hills and the valleys are completely different. Like, for example, at the valley, 10% you got about 90% something, and at the hills, you have only about 10%. So this is just a small fraction of inequalities that happen. So now to talk about peace is a difficult thing for us with all the amount, with all the property loss, all the lives that had been taken by the state government towards the Zomi community people. So these are something that the state government should compensate for. Now, many of the people that join these talks right now, many of them are students. So I think it's time that the state government, central government must come up with something saying that okay, these people should be compensated at the same time, should be given admission in any parts of the country, and they should be given or should be given the freedom to choose which institution they wish to pursue their further studies. Right. And I think anybody in the groups can comment with regard to this. I think it's extremely
Yes,
important.
with
I
regards to
totally
that, and
agree
in
with that.
supplement. Okay. Yes, Naomi.
No, I just said I totally agree with Dr. Mung.
Yes, of course. And in supplement to what Dr. Moon has said, um, I believe, and most of my friends and community from the academics are also of um, the mindset, or rather the opinion, that a CBI inquiry is the utmost need of the hour. Of course, when the Honorable Home Minister did visit the state, he visited Imphal. He visited Imphal area, the valleys. So he brought up some peace proceedings that he had issued, and I saw it in a local newspaper. I was there at home at that time. There were 18 points of it, but then a CBI inquiry was also involved, but only 6 cases recommended from the state government. So if the public does not believe or do not have trust on the government anymore, how can the state government itself recommend 6 cases to the central government for the CBI inquiry? At least some sense of plebiscite should also be given, isn't it? Some sort of plebiscite, or some cases, for instance, the ones, since I am from the university, perhaps the university cases can also be included in the CBI inquiry, which is the utmost need, because the narrative that are coming from the valley are very different from what is being heard, or what is being known to the hill at the time, and perhaps what is happening and taking place in the hill uh, is also being conveyed in the valley in a very different light. So perhaps a direct intervention from the center is the need of the hour right now. That could be some sort of a pointer for the solution, because the public, a majority of the public, do not trust and have lost faith in the state government.
Can I come in, sir?
Yes, please, Mo. Please.
Okay. On supplementing with what Dr. Mong has just said, I am also very much involved in trying to arrange an alternative way for the displaced medical students from Kukizo tribe from Imphal. Recently, there was a publication from the NMC saying they have arranged displaced students from uh, Lamka Medical College, which is situated in Lamka. But that was only for the, I don't want to name it, but it was only meant for the Meitei students who are displaced from Lamka. But If the government wants peace, why are they like making arrangement only for the displaced Métis from the Lamka Medical College and not from the displaced Kuki Zou tribe from the Imphal? There was no alternative arrangement made so far. I have met officials from the NMC. I have met top leaders. They were all saying that the CM itself wrote an application to the NMC for arrangement of students from Lamka, but not others. So like, where is the peace? If they want peace, they could have arranged for both, right? It's not that very difficult for the government. Also, they are only focusing on a particular community. So I think that is very wrong from the government itself, and that is one reason why we could not trust the state government anymore, and we really wish the if the central government steps in. Thank you.
Right. Very
Uh,
true.
Doctor, if I may add, like our CM has every day our CM has acted in a very measured in a way that he favors the majority populations of Manipur. Like uh, he is frankly like he's not behaving as an elected official who is supposed to lead a state. For him, his only
Walter, your
concern
brother,
seems to
say,
be
hey, say hi to him. Say hi to your brother. What's his
say
name?
hi. Hi, Cha.
Yeah. Get him here. Get him here. Hello, beta. Hello. Hello. What's your name?
Welcome.
Ay
Namingende,
nanganumche.
namingende, namingende. Mm.
Oh, what a nice name.
Mm.
What a nice name.
Like
So,
as I was saying, as I was saying,
God
our
bless him,
CM
man.
is not.
God bless him.
Yeah,
God bless him
thank
immensely.
you, sir. Thank you. As I was saying, our CM is not behaving as if he is the CM of the state of Manipur. He's rather behaving like the CM of Imphal only. Like his only concern seems to be towards the majority population of Manipur. Like things that he has tweeted are not something that a CM would say in any case. Like it's not something that a person should not say. Like he is unashamed. He is unapologetic about any of his behavior, and then the thing is that he's getting away with it. And then that's what's really frustrating the younger people, the youths who are displaced right now in times of our distress, in times of when we are not able to do we feel powerless. Our CM has never even once uh, sorry RCM has never even once acknowledged the suffering of a particular one particular community, that is our community. And he has acknowledged the other communities, but he has not acknowledged us. He has called us slurs. He has called us immigrants even in tweets. That's not the way a person who's elected, a politician or even a leader should behave. It seems like we our for us the youth, we feel like we're being abandoned both by our CM and both by our prime minister. Like it feels like that we have been forgotten. It feels that we have been ignored. Like our grievances, our troubles, our headaches, our anxiety is being ignored constantly. Like we don't have any say in this matter. We're all power. We feel like we're powerless. We can't do anything. We can't do anything. And then if and it seems that things are not going are not changing as fast as we would like it to be. Like my sister Mercy has said, it has been 60 days. 60 days since the incidents that has taken place, and then still we have not heard anything from anything that has been positive. There's no positive development in Manipur. Every day it seems like rather than a de-escalation, it seems to be escalating at a very alarming rate, and we don't know whether uh, whether or not we will ever recover, and then we don't know whether or not we will ever find anything that is satisfactory for both sides. Like we'll we don't even know whether or not we can come to a compromise at this point. That's all I have to add.
I can well imagine your pain. I can well imagine your pain, brother. Your this whole strong, and I'm sure this too shall pass. All difficult times pass, and there's a poem for you all, if I may recite for you all. When things go wrong, as it sometimes will, when the road you are trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest a few miles, but don't you quit. Life is square with its twists and turns, and all of us sometimes learn. And many a person turns about when he might have won and he stuck it out. So don't quit, though the pace seems slow, you may win with another blow. Often a struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup, and he learned too late when the night came down how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint in the clouds of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are. It might be near when it seems afar. So stick to the fight with your hardest hit. It's when things seem worse, you must not quit. So don't give up quitting on peace. Peace is something which you all have mentioned, and I'm sure, and I was very happy to see this beautiful comment by a person from the Maite community. Leave the first line out. That's a different very sweet of him to write that. But let there be reconciliation. Yes, we all agree to that. As a Maite, I want to say that enough is enough. Let's stop this madness. So see, basically the Maite community and the Kuki tribe both, they don't want this thing to go ahead any further. Let's stop this madness right now. And I believe the society will not change unless and until we change our own selves. समाज तब तक नहीं बदलेगा जब तक हम स्वयं खुद अपने आप को ना बदल दें. So the initiation for peace start from here. Ladies and gentlemen, we heard the grievances of these. I don't know the other comment. Tell me if it's something. Should I close if it's good or bad or ugly, whatever.
Oh, it's basically giving us a compliment,
Okay, then it's
saying,
fine.
just thanking us.
Okay, okay. Because like earlier, some comment came, unwarranted comment came, and luckily someone cautioned me straight away. Someone trying to just play the fool. I quickly deleted that comment. I quickly removed it. So okay. So I really sincerely, genuinely pray to Lord Almighty, pray to everyone. I mean, just for everyone's peace and benefit. No one likes this feeling of unnerving feeling of going to sleep at night with a threat. You don't know what will happen overnight. You don't know what's going to happen. Beat anyone from any community, any caste, any nationality as well. Abroad, Russia, Ukraine, beat anywhere. Make the world a better place to live in. Thank you very much for your time, everyone. I truly am grateful to you all, and I hope the people on top are listening. And let us share it. Let us share this conversation. This YouTube link I've shared in the group. To I want the top people, the decision makers, to hear the voice of the common students of Manipur. And one more thing I want to ask before I leave:
Sure,
is
sir.
it only
Go ahead.
okay? The people who have left Manipur, the ones who are displaced, is it only from one particular community, or from both the communities people have left Manipur? How is it like?
I think most of us are from the Kuki community, like those who are displaced.
But it's not to
And
say that other communities are not leaving Manipur. Most
Uh,
majority is the Kuki and the Zomi population, but at this point, like a lot of people from different communities, including Meiteis and the Naga communities, are leaving because, like we said, a lot of them could not continue their studies. A lot of them could not continue work. So some of them, due to desperation, they have to move out. They have to leave Manipur also. Like it's not just
be-
exclusively ours, but majority is the Kuki and Zoni population.
because we couldn't go back to Imphal and we couldn't stay there anymore. So most of our concentration of population is over there because of the headquarters of big institutions and offices that Dr. Moon have already mentioned. That is one of the biggest reason why our population is concentrated over there. It's not just the Kuki Zomis, even the Nagas are also concentrated over there. But since we are being driven away, so from the 3rd of May, we are being driven away. So where else will we go for our pursuits? Because our hill areas does not have all those big, rather central state government's offices. So where will this? There is no other university over there. So for those of the students who are there for their studies in the university, and if I may add, the university is the only central university in the state, and most of the colleges are affiliated to it. So obviously, if the university is not functioning well, then the rest of the state's educational institutions are also crippled. So it is a complete standstill over there. So the students would also have to come out, because we have to save ourselves, we have to save our lives, and there are no way of continuing our studies that we have left in Imphal. So obviously we would be displaced, and we would look for other states where we could get, or we could uh, find a way to continue our vocation as well as our academic pursuits. So the amount of displacement of the students would also be seen as directly or indirectly proportional to the level of downfall, or rather the level of um, disturbance that is happening there in the state of Manipur.
Right. So please don't lose heart. We all are there with you. We all are there. Let me tell you all one thing. I
Yes, sir.
started my education, my schooling from the Northeast, by the way. By the way, and
Which state, sir?
yeah, it was out in Arunachal Pradesh, actually in Tanga Valley, near Tawang, Khirmu,
Mm-hmm.
Kumkumpa, in that area.
Okay.
But let me tell you,
Mm-hmm.
as a student, I visited Manipur and I stayed there for months together. I told you, 97 I was there. I celebrated the New Year from coming from 97 to 98. And as an army officer later on, I was once again posted in the Northeast. And I find Northeast very beautiful. When I say Northeast, I do not mean Arunachal or Manipur or Nagaland or Mizoram or Tripura or South Assam or Shillong or anywhere. I mean, I mean the entire Northeast. It is really actually very good. I by heart I say my heart is from Northeast. I always say that. And I wonder if any
Thank
of
you.
you understand. I wonder if any of you understand Nagamis, because I have lived in
Uh,
Nagaland. I have served in the army and I've served with the Assam Rifles as well. And in the Assam Rifles, we had people from Kuki, Paite, Pangals. They were all kind of from different communities. They were Mizos, they were people from Tripura, they were people from Assam, they were people from Shillong, and we all were buddies. We all could give life for each other, yeah. And it's very sad to
but
see people take
unfortunately, the
those.
situation have come to pass. The situation is such that that kind of coexisting together is next to impossible right now, sir. That good times have already gone away from the fateful night of the 3rd of May. So I guess you could rather say it as the good old days. But we do not know when those good old days would come back again. This is the situation right now. So if talking about the good old days is in such fond memory, perhaps the sufferings and the conflicts and the deaths and the killings and the arsons and everything
You know,
would also go back in
Mercy.
history, would also go down in history as the bad old days.
I know, Mercy, but I will tell you one thing. The memories, I know what you mean. Say, I hope, and I'm sure this too shall pass. It's about time, and all the wounds are very deep. I understand that it'll all heal, and this too shall pass, and the peace will prevail. My fondest memories of my life are from the Northeast. Now, if we talk about which state, it's I would say the entire Northeast, and you people are the best people. Trust me, I've had my best friend from Northeast. I speak fluent Nagamese,
Thank
by
you,
the way.
sir.
Huh? When I was posted Nagamese. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
speak fluent Nagamese. My friends over there in Nagaland would call me Aliba. Because my name is Ali, right? So Ali, there's a
Mhm.
tribe in Nagaland, like there's Aw, Angami, Chang, Chakjang, Semma, Lotha, Konyang, Rengma, the different tribes, right? So now Ali is actually an Ao tribe. Aliba and Alila. Aliba is for boys and Alila is for girls, right? So I would speak the Ao dialect as well, not just Nagamese. I would not just say Apui logote lokpai kira bishi bishi kushi paishe. Okay, means like it's very nice meeting you in Nagamese. They would say Kumal here, how are you? Chungal here, Chungatang here. So it's like I can't tell you how fondly I generally feel. Be it the Apatami tribe of Arunachal, be it the Nagas, be it in the Mizos. I have a lot of friends from Mizoram as well. The silos who are also cookies incidentally, and then they I mean, I love Northeast. Yeah, I love Northeast, and I lot of love to you all. And just hold strong, and have faith in the Lord Almighty. Everything else will work out well. And please keep the cheerful front that you all have kept, and please continue spreading positivity around the world, and please spread the message of peace. And because an eye for an eye would make the nation go blind, would make everyone go blind. Thank you very much for your time. I truly appreciate all of you. Lots of love to you all, and my regards to your families. Take care. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.
I'm just ending the broadcast. Just going off air.